Hey everybody, it's Kelly with Inky Hands Warm Hearts. How are you guys? I'm so happy to be here with you. I am so grateful to have you and very glad that you could be here. So if you do not subscribe to my channel, please subscribe. I'm trying to grow my channel, number one, but number two, I have lots and lots of inspiration for you guys on here. So definitely do that. I do a live on Tuesday nights at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So check that out as well. And I do show the replays. So if you have to miss it, you can watch it on replay. I am grateful to have you on my channel. So let's go ahead and get started. We are going to make this adorable mini nerds treat holder. And it is made with the tailor-made tag dies. So cute. And this cute black and white DSP, which I'm kind of a little bit obsessed with. That is in the mini catalog. You guys are gonna love it. I used it for yesterday's project, only I used the zigzag. And this time I am using the striped pattern. So here is the paper. And I'm using the striped pattern right here. Actually, this striped pattern right here. And it comes in black and gray and white and gray. You just flip them over. So I will show you. Here is what we will be using, and there's the other side. So this is the one we're going to be using this time. And it is our Black and White Designs DSP. But why I love it is that you can color it any color you want. So that makes it all the better, doesn't it? So this little scene is made with the Scary Cute bundle. So I've used this stamp set for our bats, and then the haunted house came from the die set, and the die set's called Scary Silhouettes. The holder itself was made with the tailor-made tags. So I'm going to show you how to do that. See, there's the tag, the largest one here. And then the circle on the front, isn't that so cute how it's like kind of jagged? That's from the All That dies. So check those out. And let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to show you how to make this. So I cut 2 Blackberry Bliss tags from the tailor-made tags. Again, like I said, I used the largest, this die right here. We need 2 of those. And we are going to score them. So I'm going to grab my Simply Scored tool. Don't mind all the noise. Okay, so we're going to score this at 3/4 of an inch. So right here. And then this one's going to be scored at 3/4 of an inch. And I'm just going to set it off to the side because we're going to need to score our strip of designer series paper, but not until we have colored it. So I'm going to color it first. So I'm using this scrap paper that I used on my last video, and we are going to use Pumpkin Pie, and it's the dark Pumpkin Pie marker from the Stampin' Blends. So as you can see, we have these white and black stripes, and we're going to make them pumpkin pie and black. So basically you just take your brush tip and you brush it right over the top of your DSP. And then instead of having a black and white, you have pumpkin pie and white, or blue and white, or green and white, or purple and white, or yellow and white, whatever color you want with whatever color blend you would like to use. So I'm just going to go back over it just to darken it just slightly, working my way back, but it has been coated. I just want it to be a little darker. And so I'm going to give it another pass with the marker, but you can see how quick and easy it is to alter this. And of course, this marker is not wore out. They do get frayed and, you know, eventually they dry out. You have to get new ones, but they don't last forever, but they are fantastic and they do last a long time. So there is our now pumpkin pie and black DSP. So let's bring in our Simply Scored one more time. And I am going to score it at 1 1/4. So there's 1 1/4. 2 inches, 4 inches, and 4 3/4. That's just going to help us wrap it around to form our little box. Okay, so it's 1 1/4, 2, 4, and 4 3/4. And that's just going to help us when we go to wrap this around our little box. It's just going to go around just like that. A lot easier, right? I think so. Pretty cool. So we have these score marks that we did at 3/4 of an inch, and I am going to burnish those. Now this is what forms the bottom of our holder. Okay, so we are going to glue these two together, and there is the 2 front and back pieces, and then we'll work on the sides with the DSP in a second. So let me grab my silicone mat, which I just love this, and we're going to add some multi-purpose wet glue onto there, and we are going to glue these 2 pieces together by sliding that one over the top, and then just line them up, make sure that they're even, and then I can press this way also by opening them. But there is our holder. Okay, pretty cool. So now we are going to put our mini nerds, and I have grape ones that are going to go right in there. Okay, and now we are going to wrap this belly band around, and those score marks help us to glue it and leave it nice. Okay, so what we want to do is make sure that we line up our DSP. See how this is out? So I want to push that in, right? So we're going to line up our DSP like so. And I'm going to actually glue this front panel first, and then we'll work our way. We're not going to put any glue on the sides, but we are going to put glue on the front panel. So let's lay it down. This front large section here is going to get glued. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to open our tag, and this is going to get glued, and I'm laying it down so that I know that it's straight, and I'm making sure that it doesn't wiggle on me, and that there is my front panel. Okay, that's what it's going to look like, and that's how far I want it, just up a little ways from the bottom of my box, see, so that you can see that on the bottom there. So that is where that's going to go. Now we're going to glue this part together, but we're not going to glue it until we have our nerds inside. So now we're going to go ahead and put our nerds inside, and then we're going to wrap this around. And remember, this gets glue, and so this orange is going to overlap that orange piece. So I'm going to put adhesive right here. And I think I want it to stick to my box, so I'm going to also put it on this inside panel so that it doesn't wiggle around. So we're going to put the score mark down, and there it goes, just like that. And then this piece that's going to join it is going to also get adhesive, so I'm going to go ahead and wiggle some on there. And then this is going to line up right along that mark. And I'm going to make sure that we are pressed into place. And I can pull my nerds out and just put my bone folder in there and make sure that it attaches nicely. And what's really cool is that, you know, when you use this wet glue, you have that tiny little bit of wiggle room, so you can slide it around. So it's adhered on the back side and on the front side. The sides obviously have no glue because there are no sides to this box. This is what forms our sides. So let's pop our nerds back in there. Perfect. There's room for them to jiggle and make noise like nerds should always do, right? So now we're going to use our gingham ribbon, and I'm going to put this through my piece. I'm not exactly sure how much I'm using, but that's probably good. Let's go ahead and trim that. Let me measure it for you in case you're interested. About 5 inches. So I'm just going to tie a knot and then another knot. So I'm going to put that kind of like that in the front, and not too tight because you want them to be able to get it off, but and then another one, and this one's going to be loose because we want it to be a pretty knot right there in the center, just like that. And I'll trim that at the very end to make it just as pretty as I want it to look. But for right now, we have it in place, okay? And then we're going to also wrap this ribbon around the bottom and also do a little knot there. So I will trim it first and then we'll measure it. So let's see how many inches that is. That is about maybe, yeah, 9 inches. So we're going to lay this down, and we're going to do the same thing we did on the top closure. We're just going to tie a knot and then another knot. So it's just going to be, whoops, pulled nice and tight. And if you need another finger or another hand, you can take your tweezers and grab the knot with those. Well, I missed the knot, but oh boy. I'm just gonna pull it tight and then I'm gonna hold it with my, and then grab it. There we go. So then that's like your third hand, and then you can tie your little knot over the top. All right, and then once I'm happy, I'm gonna pull that tight and tighten that. I'm gonna give it one more like I did on the top to make it pretty. Come on, go through there. I wanna put the longer one through. Maybe 10 inches, guys. I think I was a little too frugal and I didn't mean to be, but I happened to, maybe 10 inches would be better. But when I did my first one, I didn't measure it. I just kept it on the roll. So if you want to do that too, you can. Come on. Yeah, see, 10 inches. Go 10 inches. This is too little. And it's hard to grab the ends. See, it doesn't want to work for me. Let me turn it upside down. Everything seems to work better when you put it upside down, right? So let's put it, I don't know what it is about tying bows, but tying them upside down is always better. Okay, so there we go. So there I put it through and it made that knot a little fatter. This one's gonna stay pretty good, and I will trim that later also. So now we're going to put our little haunted house together. So we have the circle from All That Dies. It's this circle right here, and that's in Daffodil Delight. And then this little arrow right here, I stamped it with the words trick or treat from the Scary Sweet, and it actually says trick or treat, you're so sweet. So I'm going to show you how to just get the trick or treat part. And then I die cut the haunted house from the Scary Silhouette dies, which are a must-have. They're amazing, and there they are. There's the little haunted house. Love those. So to do this, the trick or treat, I'm going to grab a scrap piece here that I used for the other. And so what you want to do is you want to ink up the words trick or treat by just tapping just those onto your stamp. And when you're happy with that, you can just stamp that one piece. And I stamped it onto a scrap of pumpkin pie, and then I die cut it out. Now, if you're afraid you're going to get ink on this, you can also take a piece of tape. Let me grab some out of my drawer. Sorry about my squeaky chair. And you can take and you can cover this section right here, okay? and then you can ink it like normal. But what you want to do is remember to remove this before you stamp it, because if you don't, then you're going to have a mess. But see how it only stamped the trick or treat? So that's how I did that. Let me get this out of the way before I stick my hand in that. I'm going to go ahead and clean my stamp, and we're going to stamp some bats onto that daffodil circle here. So let's grab them and ink them up. They're so cute. So they're going to go up in this corner so that they're flying above the haunted house there. And I liked the yellow, the daffodil circle, because to me it kind of resembles the moon, right? So I think the daffodil works really good for that. And then we're gonna go ahead and pop this up because I wanted you to see yellow through the windows, kind of like there was light in there. So I'm gonna use my mini dimensionals because this is a small die cut, and I want to make sure to avoid the window areas of the die. 4 of those is good for me. And then I'm going to put a little strip. You see how I cut these little strips? So I'm going to put a little strip down here. And I'm going to cut a small one for that side so that it just has a little bit. Let's see, I'll get it from right here. Just a small narrow one on this side next to that dimensional there. Okay, so now let's pull the backs off. You guys know I use my Take Your Pick tool when I pull the backs off of my dimensionals. And let's get this one. Trust in they go. We're gonna attach the little haunted house onto our circle, and let's get our bats flying the right direction. Okay, so I have it kind of off to this side a little and down, maybe right there, because we have to have room for our trick or treat. So there are our bats in our haunted house, and you can see that you can see through the windows. It looks like the light is showing. And then we're just going to attach this. We're going to glue it, and I'm going to put a dimensional right on that point corner there. So that will get a dimensional because it's going to be hanging off onto this yellow part. And this will be glued on. So I'm going to run a little line of wet adhesive right along the fence bottom line there. And I'm going to pull that backing off of my dimensional. And we're gonna go ahead and attach the trick or treat. And this was die cut after I stamped it. So it's just gonna kind of go along that fence line there. Just like that. And then we're gonna put some dimensionals on the back. I'm just gonna use the regular size. Maybe 3. 3 is good. And I'll grab the backs off of those. And then we'll trim our ribbon and we will have our little treat all done. How cute is this little treat package, and so easy. So if you guys have those tailor-made tags, now I have given you another reason to pull them out and use them in a different way. Let me get my ribbon cutting scissors. We're going to trim. And down here, we're going to trim. Let's go this way and this way. I would definitely use 10 inches though, guys, because 9 was too small. There we go. So there is my ribbon cutting scissors. They cut the ends of this gingham. This gingham ribbon is so cute. And I think it works perfect for Halloween. So what do you guys think? Pretty cute project. You have those little nerds in there, this adorable haunted house. And so let me show you one more time what we use to make this great project. So the tags themselves are the tailor-made tag dies. and I just used scraps of Blackberry Bliss. I used the largest one right here on this side. And then you're gonna score 3/4 on the bottom edge of each of those. I used the Scary Cute stamp set for our bats and for our trick or treat words. I used the Scary Silhouette dies for the really cool haunted house. And then for this circle here, it's the All That dies. So that was what I used today, but it makes a really great treat package, and I hope that you guys enjoyed the project. If you have not subscribed to my channel, please hit that subscription. I am so grateful for those of you who do subscribe and get notifications of when I post new videos. Halloween is just so dear to my heart. I love it. It's just such a fun time, and I love making treat packaging. Boxes and treats are one of my favorite things to make, so definitely come back for more. Last week was an entire week of treat packaging, and this one will be as well, and I'm probably going to do another week after this, so keep coming back for more ideas. Thanks for being here. This is Kelly with Inky Hands Warm Hearts. Happy stamping!